Every high and crushing low taught me something invaluable: resilience. I began documenting my journey, recording every lesson and every step towards rebuilding my success and my mental, even if no one else was watching. I didn't know where this path would lead, but I had Frank, Rosario, and the memories of everything I built and lost, fueling my determination. What you're about to see is my journey, the highs, the lows, and every moment in between, captured during a time when I was all alone, but never defeated. I'm going to get back to being a millionaire. No matter what, I will make it.
We see? Okay. It is, what is today's date, bro? It is June 9th. I don't know when the last video I did was, but it's June 9th. Friday, June 9th. Where's it say? 30. Oh, I'm like all looped out because I don't remember. I don't remember what date it is, but it's June 9th. I can't read backwards, bro. Okay, it's June 9th. It's Friday. Good, right? Okay. I'm gonna cut out all the other attempts that I tried saying that and it never went. Bitcoin is at 26,469. Oh, 475. My bad. And Ethereum is at 1837. So fucking market just is going sideways for the most part. Okay, huge shit for me. I really don't remember the last time I gave an update. I just donated, by the way. I don't remember the last time I gave an update. Probably like 2 weeks ago. And what's happened in that 2 weeks? Well, my methodology of the strategy, I think I told you. No, actually, you know what? Let me start at the company that I was talking about. So I was thinking that I was going to take over. I was thinking that I was going to take over this the company that basically failed. The two members, Yelmanova and Lionel, they basically wasted all the funds on whatever. They won't get into it, but they basically wasted all the funds on Voyagers Unknown. So I lost 100K on that. It's just down the drain. I had a redemption arc to maybe possibly work with somebody else and basically get that money back by basically just kind of running the company through us. But then he flaked out. He saw it as too much and flaked out as well. And so pretty much there's nothing left. They're going to release all the assets and stuff like that, but it's like it's done. It's pretty much done. There's no recovering it. No, nothing. It sucks. It really does suck because that was like my heart and joy was like in that, and to find out that everything just kind of like fell apart, kind of it's like gut wrenching. But at this point, I don't feel shit about anything. So, it's kind of the perk of losing so much, but at the same time, you know, it's just part of you know, getting to that status, right? And so along with that, so that's that project is done. So I'm not gonna talk about it or speak about it unless something out of the woodworks just kind of comes up. It's done, you know. I will still finish the animations eventually sometime this year, but I'm not gonna really put too much priority onto it. Okay, so that's good. Animation in general, I've been slacking so much because just so much has been going on, but I'm trying to work on animation stuff. It's been like the whole week I've been like dreading having to work on Space Cat, which is cat that goes to space, and working on Yorick. The reason I don't work on Yorick is because I guess my modeling guy, he lost one of the files. Like it's not in there for the face, and it's like one of like the biggest ones. I'm like, dude, where is it? And so I don't know what's going on with that. He hasn't answered me back, so I'm guessing that I'm gonna have to replicate the face somehow. I don't know. The face texture, I mean. So there's that. Animation has just been weird because it's just like, you know, I finished one animation, which was the end of Voyager. So I actually did like a small little tribute to the people who lost out on everything, but everything else is just kind of done. So I did do an animation, but I didn't do the animations that I want to do. So that's that. cabinet maker. Let me move on to the cabinet maker. These are all small leading up to the big. Cabinet maker is back on doing his website. I just helped him sell his truck, or his thing after 2 months. And so now he's got like 30K from that, or 35K, one of those. But anyways, he got a good chunk of that because of me. I helped him sell his shit. So now he should be good and should be good to do the website. He's going to send me all the info I need this weekend, so that way I can go ahead and get that done for him, and then I can collect my 2100, which is what not 2100, 21 plus 600, so it'd be almost 27 to 2800. So when he does that, then I'll be good on that, and that's just something on the side that's rolling off. I'm still doing Amazon Flex, but I've been doing a little bit less of it because I guess it's just not, like, there's not too many things going on right now, I guess. I don't know. People are weird, but I haven't really gotten that many jobs, but when I do get the jobs, it's like 150 or so. So I'm like making do with the 150 and maybe like 120 each week from just donating plasma. So like minimum, I'm making about 300 a week on average. But sometimes I make more if I do Uber Eats and stuff. I'm not really tripping about like everything anymore, because now I found like a strategy that kind of works. And so let me go to what's happened recently. Two big things happened. First big thing is that 2 months ago we had a email from a grant, from the grant thing that was supposed to give us $25,000 for a business. Like in 2021, like when COVID was happening, and because it was a grant, everyone was applying for it, and we just didn't make the cut. About a month, or about 2 months ago, so about 2 months ago, we got an email saying that now they have a little bit more funding to go ahead and fulfill just the next batch of people, or the last batch of people, I don't know. But anyways, we had to send some documents over. It's been about a month or so, and then they come back and say, hey, you guys are good. Go ahead and sign some documents, blah, 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 and we'll go ahead and send you $25,000. And so because of that, I'm getting a 5K cut out of that, which is really, really good, because it's just all profit money. It's all free money to our business, and that's going to help a lot. 5K off of that is going to help tremendously. It helps pay rent. It helps a lot of shit. So that means I'll be able to pay rent a couple months in advance, car insurance a couple months in advance, and my car payments a couple months in advance. And then I could just grind out whatever I need to and everything like that. So that was like a blessing in disguise. It just kind of like came in out of nowhere. And and I facilitated that. I made sure that we had all the documents and stuff like that for that. Then we got the court stuff. I don't know if I've talked about it here, but we have 2 to 3 court cases. We got one against Sandu, which is the guy who basically was at our previous house. Now, the problem here lies with Frank's a really nice guy. He's a contractor. He will do work, usually all verbal and stuff like that, and then basically ask for something afterwards. Like he'll like sign the contract, or if it's verbal or whatever, he'll shake on it and think that that's like a contract. Like you guys shook, and now that's a contract. It's not a contract. And so kind of something like that happened with the old place that we lived off of Bruce. And basically the guy let him do about $200,000 worth of work, and basically then sells the house under us. So basically we think that we're all good. We're going to, stay there and, slowly make payments towards the rent and maybe stay there for another year. And nope, the guy just basically sells the home to another person and says that all the work that we did was already with the house. And that's a big problem, because the guy was supposed to, Steve, to give us that money for all the work that we did, or I believe, I'm not technically right about this, but or he was going to give us an option off of the home, which would have been good too, but we got neither. So We didn't get any of the money from that. And so that's what the original guy is being sued on. Then the new owner, taking what the original guy said, either is working in cahoots with him and basically playing it like he doesn't know what's going on or anything like that, or knew the whole time and doesn't really care and is just fighting in court with us to basically get the money that would be taken from him, I guess, in that sense. So anyways, we're going to court on both for both of those, or Hugh's going to court for both of those incidents. And then we have one from 2019, which is a big house that was a complicated job in a complicated way. I wasn't involved at that point. I got involved at the latter point. But earlier on in that 2019 job, it was a 2.8, something like that, $1 million job. And Frank didn't write the contract super well and got taken advantage over by the homeowner, who basically allowed him to get to a certain point and then basically started, like going over details and stuff like that, and would basically halt the project at certain points and all this other stuff and keep on asking for more and more stuff until it got too much. And then basically it was like, oh shit, well, we gotta stop, we gotta do something about this. And the guy basically, or the homeowner, he wasn't taking that, he just said, you know what, we're just gonna go to court for it. And we're like, bro, but we've gotten all this far, you haven't even paid me for some of this stuff. And then you see the contract and you're like, oh well, both of you guys are wrong at the end of the day, or both of you guys are made mistakes on this. So that's how I see it though. And like I said, I didn't really have any say or any kind of part in it, all of that, because if I did, you would have been protected. But we're going to court for that because the homeowner is just trying to scam us, or trying to scam him at least off of this. So there's that. So these court cases have been going on for 2 years. The reason I bring it up is because one's for 1 million and then one's for 250,000. So later on, if any of those court cases actually go in favor of us, that's just going to be more to talk about on here. But I wanted to bring it up so that way when you guys see that, and it happens, you guys are like, oh snap, the court case from all the way back here basically, put us in here. And like I said, I'm telling you now, it's been about 2 years for both. 2 years for the Newgate one, and then for the job, and then maybe 1 year for the Steve one. Okay, so that's stuff that's going on in the background. I'm just mentioning it so that way it's foreshadowing for later videos. So then, I think I talked about it last time, but I made a really nice strategy for Frank, the contractor, to follow on getting jobs, getting leads and stuff like that. I think I talked about that. And so far, I don't know if I said this last time, but we actually, one of the leads that went through that we got, we actually went to go see 2 weeks ago. We went to go see, we measured it out, blah, 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 blah. Got to meet the homeowner. Frank talked to him a little bit more, struck a deal, got a contract, all signed and stuff. The only problem is that we have to wait until the 23rd to get the rest. He gave us a smaller amount than we expected because he's waiting for his home to close in escrow right now. And so he has a small amount that he's given us, but I got none of it. I'm waiting until the 23rd to get my share, but that's going to be like 3,200 more or less. And with that's going to be another on top of the amount that I get from the cabinet maker. So now we're talking, and on top of the amount that I get from, I have no clue why it's so dark. But anyways, so just in case you're wondering, in case I like cut right here, in case you're wondering why it's flipped now, it's because I had to move here because my charger's over here. Okay, so I'm going to get the 2,700 plus the 5,000 plus the 3,200. So I'm gonna be making over 10K this month, hopefully, and that's with the process that I have going right now. So just to explain, I got a lead, reached out to the lead, We basically validated that lead, have Frank call him and basically ask more about it, set up a meeting, went to that meeting, went and measured everything, got the job. But we don't get payment until the 22nd, 23rd when everything closes. But we want to make sure that we closed it before like he went to go see somebody else. Cool. So that proves that our method is good. Then I called somebody like a couple of days ago, and we got a meeting for Saturday here in Danville, which is very, very close. And if we get that, that's just more money on top of everything. So, you know, I'm out here making sure that we have a strategy in place. We even paid, like, thank God, we paid the tax people, or the group that is basically going to do our bookkeeping and taxes. And so they're looking through everything right now and trying to figure out everything that we got going on. So it's been quite the process to get everything going and trying to get everything all fixed. And my goal is to just get the business up on its feet. That way we have a leg to stand on, because right now we're basically kneeling and like we're going up the stairs, but we're using our knees to go up the stairs. It doesn't make any sense, right? And so right now I'm trying to get us up. I'm trying to lift us up so that we can start walking up the stairs. And then hopefully eventually we're just running up the stairs, you know? So, you know, I'm trying to prove that I can scale a business from nothing or a really, really bad situation all the way up to, like, let's say $1 million plus profitable business. And that's important because, yes, we make $1 million gross. That's easy. You know, we get 3 jobs in a year. That's $1 million right there. But to have that profit, we've probably only been getting about $20,000 to $30,000 to $40,000 profit on most of these jobs. Now, why is that bad? $40K profit, man, that's like a salary. No, it isn't, because where we live, you have to take into account where we live and how we live. Our bills and everything combined is probably about like $12,000 to $15,000 a month. So when you put that in perspective, let's say you make $120,000 in a year, right? Let's just say you only get 3 big jobs. They're all like $400K. So your profit on each of those is like $40K, more or less. You know, obviously it won't be that if you're doing $300,000, but let's just say you only make $120,000 in profit. Well, the problem there lies in that if you're doing $15,000 every month in expenses, that's almost $180,000 that you're basically in the hole, which means that you're taking away from your profit and you're now in the negative. You're now negative like 20 or 30,000. So you made no money for the year because of all your expenses. And that's been the problem for the last year or two. He hasn't taken account all the expenses that's going on. Obviously we need a bookkeeper and stuff like that, but it wasn't until like earlier this year and last year that I was like, wait, where's all the money going? And, you know, come to find out we're spending that much every single month, and it's like, oh shit. So it's these little things as far as the businesses go that I learn along with, and I'm like trying to like understand, so that way, you know, I can apply all this stuff to my own business later on. Obviously I don't have the capital for anything right now, but you know, all that knowledge will build up and build up and build up. So when I do have the chance to do what I need to do, it's gonna be a piece of cake. I already know it's gonna be a piece of cake. So, with that being said, let me talk really quickly about one of the side projects that I'm doing as well. So, I don't know if I mentioned this too. It might have been like 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I met this guy, I watched a video on this app. It was an AI-based video basically talking about this guy who basically makes money off of AI products and stuff. And then he mentioned this app that just came out, which is an AI video that can make, you know, animated shorts. I was like, what? There's no way. And so then I tried out the app, And I was like, damn, this is actually pretty cool. You know, it's a AI app that basically allows you to basically put in what you need to or generate what you want, and essentially make a really quick short with animated characters and stuff for the, you know, in the palm of your hands, which is crazy to think about. And so I see a lot of potential in that. And I got this feeling out of nowhere to basically just reach out to the CEO, the person who made the app. So I reach out, I talk to him a little bit. I say, hey, I love what you're doing. I see that the potential here. Here's a couple areas that could be improved as I was using the app. Here's a couple things that could be improved on, and whatnot. And then he was like, hey, where are you located at? And I was like, I'm located, you know, so and so. And he was like, whoa, I'm located like 20 miles away. And I was like, no way. Okay, let's set up a meeting. So we set up a meeting, went to go see him, showed me some of the stuff that he's working on and some of the applications behind, or the process behind everything. We got to know each other. And ever since then, I started like posting a little bit more in like the Discord, and talking more about the app and stuff, and using it more, of course, too, but, you know, doing bug reports and stuff like that. But I really do see a potential with this app. Now, it might be for nothing, you know, I might be putting all my eggs, I mean, I have no eggs, but I mean, putting everything out just to kind of see it fail, kind of like the Voyagers project. But the main difference here is that there's actual funding behind it. This guy used to work for DreamWorks beforehand, and there's a record, there's a profile. These are people who know how to grow a business to a degree, and they actually listen to my ideas, which is great. And so with all of that, I've been using the app for like the last 2 weeks. So I made a YouTube channel and I made a TikTok channel. Maybe in a couple weeks from now, when I make another video over, I'll have an update on it. But the cool thing is, and I've done this before, I've done like a music channel before, I've done other things that are super slow. I'm talking about 300 subscribers over the course of like 9 months or more, something crazy. Now, this app allows you to do shorts, which is like YouTube shorts, like TikToks almost. And like I said, I made a TikTok channel, or a TikTok and a YouTube channel for this, just to see how it would do. And then I started posting every single day, like 1 to 3 shorts every single day. And to my surprise, you know, it's 2 weeks later and I'm at 150 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm at 45 subscribers on TikTok. Now, why is that significant? It's significant because I've not been able to do that in that fast. 2 weeks. I'm half of the subscribers of my music channel, which was a back channel as well. Music that I like to listen to, I'll slow it down and put it on that channel just for fun. But that channel has 277 subscribers, and I've used that for like, I want to say like 9 months. You know, I post like 4 or 5 videos every single month, and that's it. So, but it's just crazy. I thought it was just crazy. I was like, damn, this is insane. 2 weeks and I have like half of those subscribers, and it's only gonna get better and better and better and better. And so, you know, I'm gonna keep on using that app, see what the hell happens. And my main goal here is this app does like really quick animations, so there's no like lighting or crazy stuff that happens. It's just, you know, plain animation. But the cool thing is, I can build up this channel, so like a little small side business, build up this channel. When it starts generating revenue, I can funnel that into another channel, or my other channel, Tag Animations with Z, and use that channel as my funnel from the app channel to my actual channel with 2,000 subscribers, and basically make actual shorts that are actually animated, you know, not through the app, not through anything, actual animated shorts through there. And then when that starts generating some revenue too, then I'll funnel that revenue over to my studio channel that makes bigger shorts. You're talking about, thousands of dollar type animations. Sorry, not shorts. Feature film animations, 1 to 5 minutes. And do it that way and scale up that way, instead of the way I was thinking before, is basically doing something grander and stuff. But I do know that I do want to fund maybe 1 or 2 short animation projects this year to do with League of Legends, because I feel like I just need to work small as I can, and then work to the 2-minute, 3-minute animations. I need to start working small. If I don't work small, I am not working smart. And so I think that's the only way I can scale up like my animation channel, my studio channel, because at the end of the day, I think one of the biggest mistakes, I don't know if I said it before, but one of my bigger mistakes with just having a business and things I've learned is that you have to be profitable. Even as an animation studio, you have to be profitable. Otherwise, you just don't make it, right? And so one of the biggest things is that I was not focused on making money, because that kind of took the edge out of what I was going for. But at the same time, I have to realize that I'm not in the same position before where I had money. And because of that, I see things differently, right? So when you have money, I was of the position I don't need to make money, right? But when you don't have money, I'm like, oh shit, my thinking was all backwards. And if I had money, I would have still had this same thinking. Like, next time I have money, I'll keep this same thinking. Does that make sense? Because I didn't think like this beforehand. And that was the problem. So, I was keeping like that rich mentality, or no, I was keeping like a rich man's mentality when I was rich, and a poor man's mentality now. But when I become rich again, I'm gonna have that same poor man's mentality. And I think that's a lesson that you guys should keep, because it tells you so much. If you keep a rich man's mentality when you're rich, that is not the right way to keep your wealth. Rich people keep a poor man's mentality. And if you keep a poor man's mentality, you'll be good. You can be thrifty and you can keep your wealth, but it doesn't mean that you have to like actually live poor. You just have to keep those the rules. You have to keep rules for yourself. If you're gonna make a business, or if you're gonna have a business, it needs to make money. That is one of the rules that I never really established for myself. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to have a business, call it a studio, and just pay people, and then that's a studio, right? That's an animation studio? No, it's not. So I'm just telling you guys, if you guys choose to open up a business or have a business, keep a poor man's mentality when you're doing it, because if not, you're going to ruin yourself thinking that you have everything until you don't. It's for cases like that I always let people know, have a backup plan, because things can come out from under you real quick. It's happened to me like 3 or 4 times already. So very unlucky, super unlucky when it comes to that shit, but I learned so much. So maybe that's the end goal. So with that, I will have an update for you guys probably at the end of the month. I don't think there's really too much going on. Oh, I have one other thing. We have another job coming out too. He's gonna get his money either this week or next week, but it's a job that we had for $200,000, and I get $2,000 of that as well. So I have damn near $10,000 to $12,000 come to me this month. So I should be able to make really good on a lot of things and have a little bit of wiggle room to survive and actually feel good for once this month and probably next month, all the way to probably August. But it doesn't mean, I'll tell you what, I'm keeping my poor man's mentality. I don't care. I might have 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 in the bank, but I will make sure that I am thrifty and that I still keep working at least 1 to 2 days, at least 2 to 3 days out of the week, and or I'll still get blood. Because at the end of the day, I can't lose this. I can't lose this drive. If I lose this drive, I lose. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm saying a lot of like words that mean the same shit, but that's just how passionate I am about this and what I've learned. So that's what this whole video series is about. It's about me making my way through different avenues, finding not only myself, but learning the tools and tips that I need to get back organically, mind you, organically. I'm doing all of this by myself. There's no one helping me, no magic finger giving me money and shit like that. I am having to work through everything that I'm doing. I am grinding. I am spending my time, my essence, the last 2 years or more to basically make sure that I get back everything that I had. Everything that I touched, I want back in my hand. And I will stop at nothing to get that back, to get that feeling back, to know of that comfort and that that comfortability and not power, but the comfortability I had was bar none. When you reach that, you feel so like I've made it. And when you get away from that, you're like, damn, I'm a failure. And so I don't like that feeling. And so I'm not going to keep that feeling on me. I am going to make it. I'm going to make it big again. And it might take a couple years again, but at least it's going to be for the right reasons and organically. And I've done it all myself. It's going to feel way better. So with that, peace out. Take it easy. Have a good one. Bye.
Ron, I never actually thought about it before, but did you sleep with Hermione by chance? Harry, I don't think you want to ask that question. Ron, give it to me straight, damn it! Did you sleep with Hermione? Harry, So it is true. I just didn't know how... Enough of the lies, traitor! I believe that you are my friend. I trusted you. Harry, I wanted to tell you. I swear. Enough of your lies. This is the end of our friendship. Harry, please don't go. It is too late, Ron. I have already given to the dark side.
So if you thought the video was good, please give it a like and share. It really helps. And don't forget to subscribe so you can see the rest of the story unfold. This project is so close to my heart, and your support keeps it going. Thanks so much. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time in the archives of a Shiba Millionaire.